Imagine waking up one day to the news saying that 10 more kids died of polio, 5 more kids and 5 more adults are infected with measles. This is what the world could face if the anti-vaccine movement isn't stopped. Today, I'll explain to you the importance of being vaccinated not only to protect yourself, but those around you. There are differing opinions all over the world around how safe vaccines truly are, and I want to educate you on that they are really safe. As a pharmacy major, I have learned all about the medical field over the past 2 years, and I will continue learning. I've also been researching this topic intensely, making me extremely confident in the topic. The increased use of natural medicine is causing an epidemic of diseases that have been eradicated for years. It is important to understand the need to vaccinate yourself to protect others, and to also know that vaccines truly are safe. With an increase in the anti-vaccine movement, there's a new desire to use natural medicine, and it's caused an increase of breakouts of disease. Vaccines have been around since 1789, when the first vaccine was made for smallpox by Dr. Edward Jenner, according to the immunization timeline. Fast forward to today, and smallpox has been eradicated for nearly 40 years. According to my survey, 27% of you get your flu shot every year. This is an extremely low outcome, considering you need 90% or more people to be vaccinated to protect those around you. Also, nearly 50% of you know someone who has either given up getting a vaccine because of fear of safety or because they could not actually do it. However, at the same time, nearly 80% of you stated you fully could explain vaccines with confidence. This indicates that you either do not fully understand what vaccines do, or since you haven't gotten sick in the past, you don't believe you need to start getting a vaccine now. While you may not personally be getting sick, you could be a carrier and pass this disease to someone else who is not vaccinated. According to sciencebased-medicine.org, some people are genetically unable to respond to a vaccine, some are immunodeficient and won't respond, or they're too young to receive this vaccine, and all of these people are at risk when you don't get vaccinated. If you look at your screen, you can see how by not getting a vaccine, you could drastically increase the spread of disease. As you see in the picture on the left, by not getting a vaccine, you can spread a disease so much more quickly. While the picture on the right, by getting vaccinated, the disease cannot spread easily. Even with the creation of vaccines that can prevent diseases that are harmful to people, many still believe they don't need to get vaccinated, and this can lead to numerous outbreaks over the years. As you can see from the chart on the left, once the vaccine for measles was created, the measles outbreak decreased rapidly. However, this vaccine being around, people still don't believe they need to get it. This led to the 2015 breakout of measles in Disney, which spread to 7 states and 2 countries, according to the Los Angeles Times, and it was fueled by the parents' refusal to vaccinate their kids. The Los Angeles Times stated that a team of infectious disease experts calculated the vaccination rate among people who were exposed to measles during this outbreak was no higher than 86% and might have been as low as 50%, which is way below the herd immunity standards. Not one kid not being vaccinated led to measles being spread nationwide and even worldwide, all because parents were afraid to vaccinate their kids because of autism. You might be thinking to yourself, I've seen so many things on social media stating vaccines cause autism and that they're not safe. How do I know who to believe? First things first, vaccines do not cause autism. But let's talk about where this thought came from. Dr. Andrew Wakefield was a British doctor who originally linked vaccines to autism. According to Time magazine, February 28, 2018 marked the 20th anniversary of his paper being released. His paper stated that the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine was linked to autism. This paper was eventually retracted from co-authors for fraudulent research. However, his information is still circulating. 20 years later, and the vaccine rates are still not recovered, especially in the UK, according to Time magazine. Around the time his paper was written, measles was declared eliminated. However, since then, 2,216 cases have been reported. It took 6 months to do it, according to Health and Time, but Dr. Wakefield has since had his license taken away, yet he still goes around campaigning his work and attacking the CDC. Vaccines have been around for over 200 years and become more advanced and safer as they've advanced. According to the CDC, vaccines are safer today than they have been, and they'll only continue getting safer from here. Vaccines are required to go through a series of tests before they're even able to become public. This test ensures that benefits of vaccines are approved in the U.S. outweigh the risks, defines which groups should not get certain vaccines, describes side effects and adverse effects reported after vaccination, and evaluates whether reported side effects and adverse events can directly be linked to a vaccine. If you look at this graph, you can see that most vaccines have no effect to a mild effect. Mild effect just being swelling, heat, maybe a few flu-like symptoms, but nothing life-threatening. I hope you've come to realize how much you can affect the people around you and yourself when it comes to vaccinating yourself. The anti-vaccine movement has grown rapidly over the past few years and has led to many people not understanding the importance of vaccines for your health and also believing that vaccines aren't safe. So take what you have learned and go vaccinate yourself and your loved ones to protect everyone in the long run so that the diseases that are eradicated can stay that way. By doing all of this, we can keep diseases like measles, whooping cough, and smallpox out of our concern, and we can focus on finding cures to diseases like cancer, AIDS, and diabetes.